What I'm really loving about the weather cooling down is I suddenly have great motivation to start baking again, and that is a lot of fun. And I got to tell you, these apple carrot muffins were absolutely delicious and a perfect thing for fall morning and fall breakfast time. I will certainly be posting the recipe below. It was a really pleasant way to start the day. I had woke up pretty early and it was cool, and it just sounded like the perfect thing to do that morning. As the fall weather is coming and fall, the days to fall are getting closer and closer, and you feel it cool down. And this is always, moving into the cold and flu season. So I had been contemplating, okay, what are some positive things I can do to try to boost our immune system and do a little bit of preparation in case we were to get something. I don't think it's the big virus or anything that I'm too worried about. I already had that, but I have an elderberry tree, on my property, and I thought, I want to make some elderberry tincture. The biggest problem is that the actual elderberries are way up on the tree, like we're talking 20, 30 feet or more. I made a comment to my husband, and you got to know a man loves you when he'll go through this, just trying to get you a few elderberries. And he was successful, but to get me some. But the really big ones, the really big clusters of them were like 30 feet up. And he said, well, other than cutting down the tree, I don't think I'm going to be able to get those for you. And I didn't want the tree cut down, so we were just going to be happy with what we got. Of course, you can buy elderberries, and you can buy them dried, and you can use them as well. So after I got them back, I washed them, and I had about a cup, so not a whole lot for all his effort, but then I took them, after I had washed them, put them into my little canning jar and covered them with vodka for making a tincture. I even took a little fork and kind of squished them around to kind of open them up and allow more of the good benefits on the inside to kind of come through. After you cover them and you're ready to put the lid on, then you need to store it in a dark place. If you don't have a dark place, you can also stick them in a paper bag and just set them up on a shelf. It takes anywhere from, I've read, 3 weeks to 5 weeks for the tinctures to be finished. At that point, they should be fairly potent, so you don't really need a lot. So if you're not feeling well, you can throw a teaspoon to a tablespoon or something like that into a cup of tea, a hot cup of tea, and drink that down. and it will give you the benefit of the elderberries, which is something that is great for the cold and flu season. That's the nice thing about herbs, I think, is that as opposed to over-the-counter medicine, is that not only do they help you treat symptoms, but they also work to heal your body at the same time and give you that, at least for these herbs, to give you that immune boost. So in my continual search for simple ways, I'm always looking for simple ways to get the herbs, and I don't mind making a few tinctures. I've certainly done that in the past. Teas are often a really great way to gets those herbal benefits in a very simplistic way. So I had put an order in to Amazon for some hibiscus and rose hip tea, and I was very excited on the day that it came, so had to head down to my mailbox, and there was my package, and inside the package there were 6 boxes of this brand of tea. Now, I have used this brand, which is Traditional Medicinals. I've used their tea for literally years. Even my oldest children can remember me serving them this tea when they would get sick. They have some great different types, and I think for colds, for sore throats, for congestion, for any types of those types of things. Plus they have a lot of other teas too. They're just a really great brand. Everything is organic, and the teas are very effective. At least that's been my experience. Of course, I'm not a doctor or anything. I'm just sharing my experience. But my experience is the teas have always been very effective, which is why I keep going back and buying them. So what I discovered is hibiscus is wonderful for supporting your immune system. It does help to build up your immune system. It also has some other really good properties. In the past I felt like they always put hibiscus in tea because it gave it such a beautiful red color. Little did I know it had so many helpful things. It can help lower cholesterol, lower blood pressure. I mean, these are all the things I have read. So, does it do all that? I don't know. Other than that's what I've read. So, like I said, I'm not a medical professional, just sharing. And of course, everybody knows vitamin C and the benefit of that during cold and flu season. What I didn't know is that rose hips have a ton of vitamin C. It's very concentrated, and they have more vitamin C per weight than oranges, like 4 to 5 times more than an orange. I either make it hot, and because we still have a few warm afternoons, I have enjoyed making it as iced tea as well. I add a little bit of honey because that's the way I like to drink my tea, and I do the same. I put in a quart jar, I put a couple tea bags in some hot water and the honey, and let that sit for a couple hours or whatnot, and then fill it up with water and stick it in the refrigerator and have it over ice. It's really easy to drink down a quart of that on a warm afternoon day, and the benefit is you're boosting your immune system at the same time. So what could be better than that, right? So the other great thing about cool weather, fall days, and cool evenings is Dutch oven cooking. I absolutely adore my Dutch oven. As soon as things started to cool down, I pulled it out and started putting it to use. My first one was chili, and I have been making chili for years, and I just love homemade chili. I just think taste-wise and everything else, you just can't beat it over canned store-bought chili. And it's so easy to do. I have made it with canned beans in the past, but for this particular recipe, I cooked my beans. I use red beans. That's my preference. I know some people like kidney beans. My preference has always been red beans. So I had already previously cooked those in the day, and then I went to throw this together. Super easy to throw together. The great thing that I love about chili is it is something that is so flexible. If you are feeding a big family, then go ahead and add a whole lot more beans, and of course some extra liquid and spices. Just stretch that meal out. If you don't eat meat, if you're a vegetarian, take the meat out. It still tastes delicious just the way it is. As summer hit earlier this year, I kind of waned a bit, I think, on walking. I've been walking for probably 5-6 years now. I absolutely think it's one of the best things that you can do for your physical health. I have taken myself from the brink of, near-death surgery to walking and hiking 6 to 8 miles, and I worked my way up doing that simply by just getting out every day and walking. I think the benefits of walking are absolutely, they just can't be beat. It's simple. I don't need a membership. I don't need to drive anywhere. I just need a good pair of shoes and to get out and get moving. Keeping your body moving, I think, is just so valuable, especially as, we get more birthdays behind us. I like doing this little walk that I'm showing you. It's got a lot of elevation. It was interesting the other day that I was reading about walking in elevation. I found that you will get into shape much faster and get the benefits of walking, whether it's weight loss or increase in muscle strength, by walking hills. It provides you, muscle-wise, a lot of the benefits that running does, but it's obviously not as hard on your joints and is not as difficult. Last year, I posted a video called "Why I No Longer Make Homemade Laundry Detergent." And of course, I will link that here and link it below. It is probably one of my most viewed videos, and comments I have in the hundreds. I've always wanted to do a follow-up on that. I haven't done that yet, but I do have something that I'm currently trying that I'm going to be adding in a follow-up. A month or more ago, I noticed a big increase in subscribers and found that they were coming from Heidi over at Rain Country, a great channel. She has an amazing channel. If you have never seen it, I highly recommend that you go and check it out. And I will leave a link to her channel below in the description box too. But anyway, she had mentioned me because of that video, and also she had done a follow-up video where she had made what she calls her own laundry detergent as opposed to laundry soap. And I decided to go ahead and give it a try. I researched all of the ingredients. I think, she actually calls it an all-purpose cleaner. And I will say this stuff has been amazing for cleaning. I have cleaned all kinds of things, from sinks and tubs and stains and all kinds of things, and it's amazing. I have started to use it in my laundry. I haven't done it for very long, maybe 3 weeks now. And of course, I don't wash a whole lot of clothes when it's just my husband and I, so I don't really have any long-term things that I can tell. I can't say that it's done a spectacular job on my laundry. I can't say it's done a bad job. My laundry comes out smelling clean and it looks fresh, and so that seems to be pretty adequate. So I don't have any complaints as far as that's concerned. I think my only question that I have not been able to have answered is whether any of these ingredients, the washing soda, the baking soda, and the one in the bag is salt, is whether any of those are surfactants or act as surfactants. And I think that it's important to have some sort of surfactant in your laundry. If you're not familiar with what that is, surfactants are what loosens the surface tension of the water so that it can release the dirt and the grime that's embedded in your clothes. Now, washing soda is the closest one that I came to. I have read in a couple places that people say yes it is, and some people say no it's not. I just ended up deciding, well, it can't hurt to just try it. Let's just try it out and see what I think. If nothing else, all of those are amazing laundry boosters, and perhaps if you're trying to really save money on laundry soap, Putting this together is very inexpensive, and you could easily add a small amount of inexpensive detergent to your laundry and then add this if you felt like you needed that. I decided I wanted to give it a good try, which may be, I don't know, a couple months, or just see what I thought before I started adding or trying to do anything, just to see what my own experience is. If that's something that, interests you, I recommend that you go over and look at her video where she gives you the recipe, and go ahead and try it out yourself and see what you think. Like I said, as an all-purpose cleaner, I think it's absolutely amazing. So it's got benefits beyond laundry, even if you didn't use it for your laundry. And again, it's something frugal. All right, you guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this edition of Homemaker's Journal. I just decided to start doing these because it's, it is daily life. My life is a homemaker, and I like sharing those things just to give inspiration. And I think it's just good to share common things and encourage one another. I certainly hope that it does inspire you. And of course, if it does, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. That really helps me. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you like my content, would you consider subscribing? I really appreciate that too. All right, you guys. I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.